The ship departed at 2 p.m. and a couple of hours later we were out on the open seas. It's 2.5 days sailing to Alotau from Brisbane, and what we did on the sea days is covered in episodes 2 and 3 if you haven't already seen them. We had a calm crossing and seasick tabs weren't necessary, although I took some for the first night as a precaution. My cabin buddies were veteran sea travellers, so they never took any tablets. In readiness for our disembarkation at Alotau, orientation and tour opportunities were presented in the Marquee Theatre.
We also have got a human cultural village tour, so there's a lot of cultural experiences, a lot of cultural tours in these ports we are going to.
Bad weather was actually forecast for the period of our cruise, but as it turned out, we only experienced a bit of tropical rain, which didn't cause us any issues at all. After a hearty breakfast, we were ready to explore the town of Alotau and its people. As we weren't VIP passengers who can disembark any time the gangway's available, we had to get tickets and wait until our number was called. Once off the ship, shore staff pointed us in the right direction.
Sure.
As we passed security, our first impression of Alotau was that we were going to have plenty of fun.
Okay, thank you.
Let's go this way.
What's it called? Hibiscus. Oh, hibiscus. I should have known that.
Sorry?
It's a hibiscus. I should have known.
I should have known that too. I live in the Hibiscus coast of New Zealand.
Well, people will love to sing it.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
We decided not to take any of the ship's onshore tours, but instead negotiate with local tour operators, which was about half the price. But a word of warning, not all local tour operators are equal. After making the booking, we then had to wait for our minivan and guide. There didn't seem to be any scarcity in ground transportation and guides, as the locals knew the cruise ship was coming.
How do you say welcome?
Yeah.
Hello.
Agualau.
Welcome.
Say something in Pidgin English.
Mi hamamas.
Yep.
Long yuplakam long Milne Bay, long Papua New Guinea. Mibla hamamas long kisim mibla or semol friends long mibla.
Thank you. Rugged, isn't it?
Our tour took us from the port, through the town, then out to Gurney International Airport, which is a journey of about 15 kilometres, then back to the town to one of the markets, then up to a lookout and then back to the ship. We were disappointed with this particular tour because we were led to believe that we would visit a village, but this didn't eventuate.
We will take great care of you and bring you safely back to your ship. Right, this is Milne Bay Province.
Our first stop was Gurney Airport, where there are direct flights from Cairns, Australia. The airport was named in honour of Air Force Squadron Leader Charles Raymond Gurney of the Australian Air Force. There's a memorial there, a reminder of the Japanese-Australian battles in the 1940s during World War II. Unfortunately, we never got to see the memorial. The excuse was that there was a plane about to take off, although we never saw any planes during the duration of our visit. I also used the toilet there, but it's not for the faint-hearted and there's no running water. However, on the plus side, we were able to see and chat to locals who are making some baskets. As we were boarding, the guide said to Sandy, "Sorry maiden," instead of "sorry madam." Well, Alan couldn't resist a reply.
That's the first time you've been called back for a while.
How do you look at it?
After a brief stop outside the prison, which is by the airport, we headed back toward town. The route back to town is lined with palm oil trees, with palm oil export worth $450 million a year to PNG. It's the world's most popular vegetable oil, and PNG is the world's third largest producer. Palm oil production is now one of the world's leading causes of rainforest destruction. So if you're a conservationist, don't buy anything with palm oil in it. It's found in many packaged items in the supermarket, for example from ice cream to shampoo, bread and detergents. As we were horrendously outgunned, we decided not to interfere with the harvesters.
You're going to have it all.
What's the verdict? What do you think?
I don't think it tastes like avocado.
In the grass was also a dragonfly, and also in the grass was Pauline, who was washing her hands of the heavy oily film from the palm fruit. Once back into town, we were taken up a hill for our cultural experience, which amounted to viewing some children in traditional dress. Payments were required for us to take photos, and Sandy gave gifts to the parents and children. And we were given some local coconut to sample. It was really delicious. The next and final part of the adventure was to visit the town and main market. Alotau is the capital of Milne Bay Province. It has a population of about 16,000 and the town is located within the area where the invading Japanese army suffered their first defeat in the 1942 Pacific War. At the market, our guide gave us some tips and Sandy asked how to break up the 50 kina notes into smaller denominations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to do?
What about wooden bowls? Are there any wooden bowls here or at the craft market? Okay.
Other currencies are reluctantly accepted, so you're best to change your money into kinas.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
So that's how Sandy got the smaller denominations. She bought a drink and then got the change. Transportation for locals isn't what we would be accustomed to.
Yes, I smile and we get that photo.
How many will that be? It doesn't matter, it's only $1.
Is that right? Okay.
2 kinas Oh, how much is that?
Hey, you'll be able to offer everyone on the van a banana. You could see from the faces of the locals that the unique interaction of them, Sandy and myself was quite entertaining. The consumption of betel nut, mustard and lime and spitting continues to be a concern for the authorities and international community, as well as for cabin 4220 on the Pacific Aria in February.
What do we do? What do you do? Okay. So how do we do it? What is that? Lime. The whole nut?
Yeah.
Have you got more? I don't want to waste it. Oh, am I eating your betel nut?
That's okay.
Is $1 enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
No, we are talking with our girl.
True?
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Really, really.
good week.
Nice.
What's it like?
Nice. Sweet. Nice. One more.
was an interesting experience, and Sandy gave some gifts in appreciation.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Okay.
Locals believe that chewing the betel nut is good for your health and teeth, but the opposite is true. Next we went into Papindo supermarket and department store to buy some epoxy resin glue to repair my broken table tennis bat. For the locals, some items are astonishingly expensive. $400 for this cooker, $100 for this cooker, $80 for 4 litres of old paint. However, basics aren't too bad. $10 for 10 kilograms of rice, $10 for a knife. It's about 2 kilometres walk from town to the port, so Alan and Pauline took the minivan back while Sandy and I walked back visiting various markets. The rain, being tropical, enabled us to walk around in between showers. Every carving tells a story, and Sandy bought one, and now that's part of her story. On the way back to the ship, we made a brief stop at the Alotau International Hotel where you can get local currency at the ATM machine. Unfortunately, it wasn't working at the time. The next stop was Sanderson Bay Informal Market. On sale was tobacco, ready to smoke tobacco, betel nut, mustard and lime, but we weren't sure what the mercury was for, and Sandy bought a bag.
Clever, how do you do that? Clever lady. You too. Come here.
Opposite the market was an accommodation centre, just a few cents per night, but minus 100 stars quality. At the wharf and ferry terminal, things were done the old way. What a wonderful time we had in Alotau, and in our next episode we travel past Madang, the active volcanoes, and visit Wewak.